Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own research analysis before making any investment based on your personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you find on our website or podcast and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. What's up, my future one percenters? This is Marathon Money, brought to you by Wincrease.com. I'm Cam Jones, Prince of the Stock Market, and I'm here with my boy Kenny Coins, and we also got Xtro. I don't know what I can do for you, Xtro.
He's a bad
I guess I'll do
that. Man. Justified.
Yep. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
We took a vacation day last week, man.
Oh, before we get into it, happy belated to you, Killer.
Thank you,
man. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. You know, I went to Disney World. Me and Kenny, that's what we were just talking about, man. I went to Disney World like a little kid, but it was cool. I liked it.
Except for you could afford it.
Yeah.
Well, Disney World is big into making. They're looking into like 2021 to make a lot of things for adults.
I would like for them to keep it the way it is, actually.
You know what I mean? I guess they're trying to say the kids that love Disney starting to grow up.
I don't know. My girls want to go to Disney, man. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I think that's still
I think personally, I think that's the thing. I think they're trying to cater to both.
I think Disney is still like a prereq for you to grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's
like something you do when you're a kid that you have to do as a kid. You know?
Yeah, it's like Red Lobster is the introduction to like luxury food. If you take somebody on a date,
you gotta go.
That is the truth. I never really thought about Red Lobster.
Bro, is SeaWorld still there?
SeaWorld
still exists?
there. SeaWorld's still there. You know, I want to say this about Disney though, before we hop into the podcast. Disney, when I'm in Disney, it feels like I'm in California. It's that expensive. You know, if you paying $6 for a terrible hot dog, you know what I'm saying? A cold hot dog, you paying, you know, man, I had a slice of pizza. I got 3 slices of pizza, 2 for me, 1 for my wife, and 1 drink. Man, it came up to like $35. I'm not talking about a box. I'm talking about slices. So they took that California Los Angeles model and they took it to heart. And they revved that thing up over there in Disney.
Dude, I know they're making like 20,000% on everybody, man.
Yeah.
They probably really aren't because they got to pay everybody.
No, I remember my cousin used to work at Disney. He used to work at where you buy the tickets.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? This fool got fired for letting people go in for free.
Hold on, you got one job though.
Take the ticket, get paid for tickets. That's your job.
You know what I mean? That man.
How's
you know,
that
because you can buy the tickets like right when you get at the park instead of buying them online.
Right.
But this was like in 2007, so online was not really that big then. And this man would just like, you see some girl, and it was, oh, come by the park, man. I'll let you in. Get like 2 tickets.
That's the
wait
downfall.
till his shift was
downfall to every dude, man. Hooking up the women.
As soon as I heard the story was to a girl, I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, it's downfall, bro. But bro, it's people get fired all the time for that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
People get fired like this one girl got fired for letting this boy in at night. Like, people get fired all the time for that, man.
Man, we talked about this on like a podcast before, man. Crime don't pay no more. I mean, that's not like a big crime, but you can't do it. They got so much technology to catch you. It doesn't pay. You don't do, you know,
even if they don't catch you like today, they finna catch you.
They gonna get you. They're gonna get
Yeah.
you.
They got you filmed somewhere doing this, so
exactly.
Somebody gonna catch you.
You can't do nothing, man. So if you out there listening, man, don't do no illegal stuff, man, like that. Robbing people, let people in for free, stealing clothes. It's not that's not profitable anymore. So, shoplifting is not profitable anymore. Trust me. So let's get right into it, man. It feel like we've been going for a minute. I almost forgot how to do the intro, but I got it. The stock market, man, it's been on a little roller coaster for about 2 months now, man. But I've been taking advantage of it. Been buying some stuff. I'm a little concerned about our boys. I'm a little concerned about our boys, Teladoc, Square, people like that. But we still up on the year, big. But I kind of like Teladoc in the $70 area, and I like Square in the $80 area. Below that, I'm kind of like, man, should I sell this or what? But I'm holding on to it. I'm trying to get y'all's opinion on the market because right now everything seems like it is in the middle between support and resistance, which I don't like that. I'd rather be, one or the other. So then if it's close to support, I can start buying some stuff. Close to resistance, I can, look to take some stuff off the table. I don't like it in the middle. It's hovering in the middle. It might be making support here, but I don't know.
All right. So here we go. Which one you want to talk about first?
NASDAQ, because that's affecting most of my stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing that is affecting most of my stuff.
That's affecting our stocks.
All right. So what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago I was on here when I was talking about, the market and how it might be range bound for a little bit. And
I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, here we are. So it's
some deep ranges though. You're talking about there's been like between 200 to 500 point moves.
Yeah, you're talking about
like we're talking about Curry. You say that you're talking about the
deep 3-point Curry out there, man.
So if you look at the NASDAQ too, man, just the last couple of days, man, it's like the candlesticks are huge.
Well,
you know what I mean?
This is all volatility at its best, man. This is what I was talking about.
I love it, but when it's going down, I don't. When I'm buying it.
So your last time I was on here, I was talking about how the volatility was going to return. And it was August when I was bringing it up, and I thought it was going to happen around then, and it didn't. And then it started happening like late September. So it's a little bit behind from what I was looking at, but still on time for what it should be doing. So this is a normal shakeout, man, where the market is going to take some profits off the table. And as we all know, the Christmas rally that pretty much happens like right on time.
Right.
Beginning of December, every single time. We got Thanksgiving coming up, which is typically a very low trading volume week. So not much is going to happen then. You might have, one stock that gets bought up, but it's going to be on very low volume. So don't expect much for this week. But coming December, I would expect the market to try to pick up from where it's at and continue with its uptrend. So the VIX right now is starting to look like it's giving up. And it's still above 16, sitting around 18, 14 right now. So once it gets close to 16, you'll start to see the market starting to make its way back up. That's my prediction.
I was gonna ask y'all, man, how should people the short week? I like the short weeks, especially if I'm trading options. But how should people trade the short week? This Thanksgiving week coming up. What is it? Only 3 days. It's gonna market close Thursday.
Well,
I think it's
3.5. 3.5. I think on Friday it's a half day.
Okay. And then, around Christmas time, New Year's, that's back-to-back short weeks. What's the best way to trade the short week?
Don't. You got to remember, no trade is still a trade. So
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, just stay out of it. It's unless something's on like super fire sale. But other than that, enjoy your family, chill out. Don't worry about the market, man, because it ain't worth the stress. But if you find that fire sale, like Teladoc at $2 or something, then just go ahead.
God, don't say that, man. Don't say that. Don't say that.
And buy that pop because it's going up from there.
I should edit that part out, man. How you gonna say that, something like that about our stock? So man, I want to hop into the topic because I like the topic that you messaged me about, Xtro. We might need some time on it.
Yeah.
The trading discipline, trading strategy. I think that's something that people struggle with, but maybe they don't even know they struggle with it, or they may not want to admit it. It might be like, alcoholism, something like that.
Yeah, it's real. Because, I mean, me and you both suffered from it.
Right. I was about to say, I know me, I like to stick to a strategy, but when it comes time to execute, pull that trigger, sometimes you're like, nah, I keep going back. I mentioned it.
Definitely if it's up, man.
Yeah.
Definitely when it's up.
I keep going back to Square. I mentioned it a couple podcasts ago about when I think I mentioned in our chat, I was like, man, this hit 80, I'm selling it. Because I saw it. If it break 80, it's probably going to go down in the 60s. And it did, and I didn't stick to my original plan. And now look where it's at. You know what I'm saying? I could be making more money. I could have bought all my shares back and more at this point. So that's something obviously I struggle with. I think everybody does, but they may not even recognize it.
Yeah, let's make this like a AA right now, where we come out and admit, what's wrong with us. But absolutely, man, trading strategies, discipline, that's going to be an ongoing struggle for traders all around, because it's emotion, and we're all emotional creatures, and it's just hard to kick that. That's why I think I like tools like automated, sells. Like when I enter a trade, 9 times out of 10, I like to put in my sell right after that. So I kind of take it out, because sometimes you'll look at the pre-market and you're like, oh, what's up? And then, you want to sell, but you don't.
Right.
But then your automatic trade will be like, yep, you out.
You know what it is, man? It's that the moment you do sell and that thing goes up 30% for that day, you just like, really? You know what I mean? Even though you made 30%, but it goes 30% more, and you just like,
I should have held on,
man.
That's that drug of the market right there, man.
Bro, it gets you every time. Yeah. And there's a few times where like you 40% up, and then you sell and it goes 20% down. You be like, yeah, I made a good decision.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often,
1 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that happens too. But I mean, it's still important to have your strategy in mind, because there will be a time where it will save your butt constantly.
Well, yeah, is that really like discipline, man? But is those few times, man, when it goes up like a major number, like 60% that day, and you just like, man, I should just held on.
I think it's important for us all to realize that that happens. Well, how many more times have you sold and been like, I'm glad I sold, versus you sold and been like, dang, I shouldn't have sold?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's going to happen. You're not going to always get the tops and bottoms of everything. You just need to be glad that you made your money. And it was either harm-free or very easy or whatever, So that's the importance, when you get into your trade, before you even execute the trade, you should have at least an idea of you leaving it. Yeah, and then when I first started, I obviously struggled with that big time. And I actually bought me a journal to help me record all of that. So when I had the strategy in mind, I wrote down in my book how I was going to take this trade. I was going to get in at this price, get out at this price. And man, I tell you what, that was life changing for me, and that laid the foundation for me to start making profit, because that's when I started my whole 20% motto. Was I was going to get in and make my 20% and be out. And once I started doing that, it got really, really easy, man.
And I'm telling you, that trading journal, it's annoying, but I'm gonna tell you, bro, that thing is useful.
Well,
yeah,
it's so
like
useful.
Thing, though,
you gotta be religious to it, because you know what I mean. People, you gotta, like, if you know you're taking your money at 30%, you just can't waver from that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Xtro. So you mentioned something though. You put your sell price in right after you purchase. I would think that's more for options though, not really for stock.
Yeah. You could still do it with stock.
You can still do it. Yeah.
But obviously with stock, the biggest difference is you can do it in aftermarket. You know, your triggers can get hit in the aftermarket versus options. You locked in until it opens, you know. Mm-hmm. So other than that, man, that's how I typically do it. You know, I usually hit my enter in, and then as soon as I get that in, I want to be able to get my price set for my sell immediately after that. Put my limit order in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For this conversation, man, I think option and stocks is pretty much the same, because even the option, when you get into it, you know what I mean, you go like, man, you hit your 30% and you get out and it goes up 20 more percent, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's really the same, you know. It's all about, at the end of the day, having that, like Cam, for your sense, you always say, like, I don't remember, it's either 20 or 25%. Once it hit 25%, I'm just taking my money. Money Fridays, you know what I mean? So
Money making Fridays.
And money making Fridays is it. But that's the issue a lot of people have, I've noticed. Even the pros, the guys who've been doing it for 20 years, they go through the same struggle, because that's that one temptation you can never get. It
never goes away, man.
It never goes away.
It's emotion.
That's something.
It's a pure emotion.
Something that
go ahead. I'm just saying, it's just an emotion, man. That's that drug that we all have when it comes to the market, is making money, you know. So
right.
You know what I mean? And also that saying, like I said, it's like an old broker saying, if you liked it at 50, you'll love it at 45. You know what I mean? And it's like the other way around, man. It's like, oh, it goes to, you bought it at 50 and it goes to 75. And the only thing you'll regret is you should have bought more. That's right. Yeah, trust me. Yeah. That is not a good mindset to have. You know what I mean?
Well, I think about that all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? When my stuff pop up, I'm like, man, I should have just dumped. I should have just, went bankrupt on my credit cards and just dumped everything.
It's such a bad mindset to have, man. Because, like, I do it sometimes, too. I'll be seeing the price completely go down. I say, man, you know what? It looks better at 30, so I'll buy it. You know what I mean? But it's a really bad mindset, man. Or, like, something goes to 75 and you automatically say, you know what I mean, I should have dumped my whole entire bank account into this.
I should have just went broke. I mean? I should have just went homeless on this one.
You know what I mean? It's really a terrible mindset, man. And I feel like in the investment world, that's what they use. They tell people that all the time. Like, I hear brokers, like, here on Wall Street, just constantly telling clients that saying is like, trust me, man, if it goes down, which is true, if it goes down, like, if it's a really good investment, it goes down, buy more. But if it's down, if it's 50 and it's at $25, like, yeah, you should look at that as that there's something going on,
right?
You know what I mean? And we're just trying to, like, you got to be disciplined at a certain point. You got to say, if it goes down 15%.
And you got to make good, educated guesses also.
Yeah.
Because that's basically, there's nothing for certain in the market. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, reading the charts and being informed gives you a better chance at making a better decision.
Right. And I want to kind of tangent off of both of what you just said. First off of you, Cam, when you were saying nothing is for certain. I tell everybody who comes to me, I always tell them when it comes to chart reading, you're not looking for moves up. You're not looking for moves down. You're just looking for activity. That's it, man. The stock market is just going to move. That's what we know. We don't know up. We don't know down. So you just got to depend on it to move. And that's when you look at the history on how it moves. And that's when you could get some type of guidance on your strategy that you have in mind.
Damn, I like that. You ain't never told
that's
me
a good
that.
Little saying right there.
Xtro, you ain't never told me that, man.
That's a good little saying right there. You know what I mean? A little clip. You know, you're not looking for moves up, move down. You're looking for activity.
That's it, man.
And you just
I'm out here looking for activity.
So next, what Kenny was talking about when stuff is down. This also comes in mind for when I first started trading. I never had a real solid understanding of how to prepare for stuff when it moved down. So a lot of people obviously look for the market to move up. Oh, I'm going to buy, whatever. Okay, so what I developed in my head was I always need to be cash ready, because when the market moves down, this is when people take the biggest opportunities to get into stuff. So we remember back in 08, we always remember 08, and we always reminisce about, oh, how coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know.
Right. Bought Amazon S5.
Yeah, because we didn't have the cash, right? So
$5.
In my head, I always want to make sure that I only invest a certain percentage of my capital. So I tend to go maximum at 25% and I leave 75%. This is maximum. Normally I trade around 15% of my capital and I leave the rest cash. For this reason alone, because when the market dips, you want to be able to take advantage of things that you couldn't have before because you're cash strapped.
Right, yeah.
So it's important to have cash just for that reason. So my advice to any new trader out there is make sure you have some type of strategy in mind that focuses on having a certain amount of percentage of capital traded. Because if you overtrade, once the market takes a dump, your money's gone.
Yeah. To me, I don't feel like the money's gone, but I feel like inside you feel like, man, I gotta do something, and then you might make that's when you might sell, and then it wasn't the right time to sell. You just had too much money in for you to be comfortable, for your comfort.
Yeah, and then on top of that, when you that fully invested, you make dumb decisions because if you start seeing your money go down, all of a sudden you start making riskier plays to try to make that money back.
Yep.
And sounds like all the Bitcoin guys.
I'm 100% guilty of doing that. 1,000 times.
We all are.
That's all of us.
Because
Bitcoin is a prime example of. You heard those stories? People leveraging their mortgages. You know what I mean? People taking out credit loans for like $30,000, $60,000. Like Bitcoin is a prime example of making those irrational decisions. Look at it, man. From 21,000 to $5,000.
Hey, I just looked at Bitcoin this morning. It's still there. It's just not hot. You know what I'm saying? It's
21,000 to $5,000. Man, Bitcoin done.
We're down to 5K.
What, it's down to 5 now?
Yeah.
So last time I think we talked about this was like last Christmas, and I was predicting how it was going to go down to like 8 or 10 or something like that.
Yeah, it's fine. As of right now, it's $5,641.
Oh, it'll be at 0 then.
Well, from 21,000 to 5,000, man,
in about a year. About a year.
Yeah, man. This thing was the hottest thing last year.
That's what happens, man. What goes up
must come down.
Gravity, man. Gravity.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Xtro's talking about, man. Like to bring it to put an example to it, it's like you heard news is like blogs written about people taking out mortgages and loans and you know what I mean, leveraging their cars and putting like $1 billion about that billionaire that put $1 billion into Bitcoin. Nah, man, that man lost, I don't know how much money. You know? So like,
I wanted to say on top of that, this also kind of plays into how I originated with going to the charts, because I used to be a guy who used to try to follow the news and get my information from there. But Bitcoin is a perfect example as to why you don't do that, because when the news is on it, it's already too late.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's too late. Your chart would have told you a year back before, if you were following it, what's going to come, because the price activity will give you a foreshadow of how it's going to move. But once that news hits onto it, the news was reporting when it was at highs.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's why it's
the
news.
move was gone.
That's why it's news, because it's so high.
Yeah. The move was gone. So if you hear about it in the news, it might be time to sell.
And the funny that you say that, there was this guy that was saying that. He said, like, when Bitcoin reached around 9,000 and the news got on it, the news pushed it up to 19.
Yeah, I could actually agree with that right there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin gave people
the news pushed it up 19 and gave people all this false hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Bitcoin gave like regular cats, with that looked at, not having a chance in the stock market at getting something cheap to say, hey, this is my chance to go.
Because that whole thing, by 2020, this is going to be 100K. I was like, if that's possible, it's like you could leverage your whole house and if it happens in 2020, you good, you solid. But realistically, that ain't never gonna happen, man.
Yeah. And realistically, you got to remember there's a buyer and there's a seller.
Yep.
So you got to find the person who wants to get it from you at that price.
Yo, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because earlier in this podcast, we were talking about, when you sell something, then it goes up 30-40%, and you're like, dang, man, I shouldn't have sold. And it makes me think, like, that happens a lot, right? It seems like right when I sell, stuff goes way up. Right when I buy, it might dip a little bit. And I think, like, man, who's on the other end? Could there be somebody on the other end manipulating this stuff, like the market maker?
No, the truth is, if you there is a thing where you can see when people purchase stocks. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. I don't know the name exactly.
Yeah, you gotta have direct access trading though.
Yeah,
in order to see. You can't do it on like Robinhood.
Yeah, if you got the money for it, you can actually get it downloaded on your computer. But it's like $5-6 grand a freaking month you're spending on it to see somebody.
If you got that much like money to buy something like that, I'm pretty sure that pays for itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got the money,
I was able to
forgot what it's called, but you can actually see when somebody purchased a trade. You know what I mean? But it doesn't give the name or anything. You just see the shares that's been bought, and you can see the time frame.
They don't have to, from what I understand what that is, and I'm sorry, man, I don't know the exact name of that. But I know you have to have direct access trading in order to do it. I think Interactive Broker is one of the people that does it. But the thing is, people don't show everything that they're trading. So if I'm buying 100,000 shares of TDOC, I have the choice to show that I'm buying 100,000, or I have the choice to show that I'm buying 5 shares. I have the choice to show that I'm buying 10,000. So it's not really that's not really a accurate tool to go by, because people pick and choose what they want to show that they show.
I'm not saying it's accurate, but a lot of it has to. It's there.
It's there to give you an idea of some activity that's going on.
Yeah. So I honestly, tell you the truth, man, it's really honestly the best way to tell is by the volume.
Yeah, you're right.
Once the volume start going up and it reach to a certain point,
that volume also tells you the buyer, how many people want that stock, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, here's the deceiving thing about volume, which used to catch me all the time. When I used to see a lot of volume, I used to think that a lot of people are buying. That's not always the case.
No,
you can be selling a lot too. So you got to understand that volume also gauges activity. You just got a whole bunch of people doing something.
Doing stuff.
Don't know what it is, but something's happening. So you got to use that just to understand.
Yeah. And on top of that, Xtro, to go off what I said, that's all the pieces of the puzzles you got to put together. You know what I mean? You got that system, you got the volume, you got the indicators. You put that pieces together, and plus the biggest piece is the chart. You know what I mean? Then you can tell which way everything's going.
No, you can't tell.
No, you can't. But you can, you know what I mean, make an educated guess between all these pieces.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because you got the indicator, the chart, the volume, that system that costs you $6 grand. You put those pieces together.
You got all the tools in hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that makes people upset about chart reading, is because they look at it in a sense of that you think you know what you're doing. Like, no, actually, I don't know what I'm doing at all. I'm just looking at it to try to take the best possible outcome of what I think is going to happen. That's it.
Right.
So when I say something's going to go to 80 or whatever, oh, you don't know nothing. You know, okay, fine. You know,
yeah.
You know, it don't mean that. But I think people get upset with the whole thing is they think that, like, as a chart person, you can predict the future or whatever. Like, you know everything. Like, I don't know anything. I just happen to make an educated guess. Now, me personally, I just happen to be right about a lot of the stuff that I see. But that's only because I've been doing this for so many years now where I get to understand the patterns and I've seen them before. So once you get to that point and you can see stuff being repeated, then you have another advantage, another layer on top of that from the chart reading that you can apply.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Xtro's right, man. That brings a good point. I stop arguing with people about charts, man. If I say something you don't believe it, fine. Because, you know what I mean, getting an argument, getting kicked out of the group and all this stuff ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it to me anymore. I just say, okay, you don't believe me, fine. You know what I mean? But because at the end of the day, it's what's going in my pocket. You know
right.
I mean? Yeah,
that's how I look at it too.
It's my pocket. You know what I mean? I do whatever I want in my pocket.
Yeah, I want my pockets on like high cholesterol, you know what I'm saying? Unhealthy, diabetes. I want my stuff just straight overweight. You know what I'm saying?
Obese.
Obese. I want my stuff like that. My 600-pound life. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, I want some weight. No, but seriously, man, I honestly tell people all the time, man, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm looking at. I just know that if I look at this chart long enough, I can actually tell, you know, the patterns from the past, you know what I mean, and what it could possibly do in the future.
I'm gonna start making that sound when we at like 30 minutes. But
it's
man,
like
we
got
got
clock right there.
Yeah. So we gonna wrap it up, man. But I think that was some good knowledge right there, man.
Yeah, that's knowledge I never got when I first started, man. I
don't think any of us got it.
Nah, they all told us buy and sell. That's all they did.
Yeah.
We took that and we ran with it, and then we found out we was gonna lose money later on down the
line. Got smart about it.
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high. So a lot of people say that's really hard to do. Buy low, sell high. You tend to buy high, sell low.
So make sure you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, anything at Camboni11. Make sure you hit us up in our Facebook chat so you can join and clown around with us, get this marathon money. Where can they find you, Xtro?
You can find me at Wincrease Team. That's on pretty much any social media that you can find. You said Facebook, that's Twitter, StockTwits, all of that, man. Find me at Wincrease Team. Also on YouTube. I plan to start releasing some videos weekly. I told Cam this probably about 3 weeks ago, but I'm still in the works of doing that. I got my software back on my laptop in order to start recording that. So look for us to start doing that weekly.
Before you sign off, sorry, I wanted to touch on, you know, we want to do the options thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That whole gathering. I don't know what we're going to call it, but, you know, getting people together to kind of just learn how to trade options better, things like that.
Yeah, so I had put down a soft date on that, but obviously I think it's past that date now.
Yeah, we're gonna get it together. We got to start mentioning it on here and everywhere else, so we held accountable. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. I think that's the fear why I never put down a hard date on it, because if I put it out there, then I got to really adhere to it.
But man, the thing about it, interested in, you know.
Options are tough, man, because if somebody really don't know how to read the charts and don't know how to put the strategy together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if they don't know how to put their strategies together. You might as well just start wiping your butt with dollar bills at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're done.
Yeah, so it's over before it started.
Yeah, but we're gonna make options easy when you talk to me. So let's we'll look forward to that date soon.
Well, where can they find you, Kenny?
Kenny Collin 23. You already know. Twitter, Instagram. You can hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up in the group. Follow us. Wincrease Marathon Money Facebook page. You know what I mean? Get more people to join. I'm always advocating to get more people to join, more people to listen. We're trying to grow. We're trying to build something here. So,
all right, man. Until next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.